Nithyananda, welcome each and every one of you for today's Nithyananda Yoga live telecast. We'll be now starting with the Sadguru Vandana, requesting everyone to please keep your hands together in the Atmanjali Mudra in front of your heart center and offer your gratitude to Swamiji as we enter into the Sadguru Vandana.
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं Sadgurum tam namami.
The next is the Shiva Mula mantra, where we will be doing the japa of Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha 11 times by invoking the presence of Lord Paramashiva. Requesting each and every one of you to do the japa internally while we will be doing it out loud such that it is easy to follow along. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. 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 The next is the Tattvachamanam, the ritualistic cleansing, for which you will be needing the Panchapatram and the Uddharini cup, which is the traditional spoon and cup used for the daily puja. We'll be starting off by cupping the palm and bending the index finger slightly into the Gokarna Mudra, taking one Uddharini of water in the center of the palm and sipping it along with the word Swada. Om Atma Tattvam Shodhayami Swada. Om Vidya Tattvam Shodhayami Swada. Om Shiva Tattvam Shodhayami Swada. Now, with the base of the right palm thumb, please wipe the upper and lower lip twice. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Please wash your hand. Now with the tip of your index, middle and ring finger joined together, touch above your upper lip and below your lower lip. Please wash your hands. And with the tip of your right palm, index finger and thumb joined together, touch your right nostril, left nostril. With the tip of your right palm, index finger and thumb joined, ring finger and thumb joined together, touch your right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear. Please wash your hand. Now with the base of your little finger and thumb joined together, touch your navel center, right shoulder, right chest, left chest, and with the tip of all the fingers joined together, touch above your head, your right shoulder, left shoulder, and your heart center. With this, we are going to be now entering into Sankalpa, the conscious resolution, where you're going to be closing your eyes and intensely visualizing yourself manifesting the ultimate health, all the yogic postures through your body, as well as the ultimate powers, everything that is revealed by Paramashiva in the Agamas, you are manifesting all of it through you. So we are going to be starting off by clasping the right palm over the left and placing it on the right thigh.
ममोपात समस्त
Samasta
दुरितक्षयद्वारा भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परम शिव प्रीत्यर्थम श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परम शिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परम शिव प्रीत्यर्थम च अद्य पूर्वोक्त एवं गुण विशेषेण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभतिथौ पूरण आरोग्ययुक्त दृढगात्र यौगिक शरीर सिद्ध्यर्थं परमशिव शक्ति आविष्करणार्थं नित्यानंद योगाभ्यासं करिष्ये.
Please wash your right palm. Om apaupasprisya. And before we enter into today's Nithyananda Yoga session, a quick reminder that today's yoga practice is for general wellness and educational purposes only, and it is not to be taken for or used as a replacement for any medical advice. And a sincere request to each and every one of you to please listen to your body and practice within your limits and capacities. And if you have any injuries, medical conditions, or if you're pregnant, please consult your healthcare professional before practicing. If at any point in time during the yoga practice, if you feel any pain, dizziness, or discomfort, you can gently stop and rest. So with this, we are going to be entering into the first asana for today, which is Siddhasana Chatwari. As part of the Panchama Vinyasa Krama part 1, we are going to be now starting off by sitting in a comfortable seated position with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Draw one heel in towards the perineum and stack the opposite foot gently on top. We are going to be engaging in the Shambhavi Mudra, keeping the eyes open and steady, gazing outward while awareness rests deeply within. The Shitkari Kumbhaka is where you gently press both the teeth together. You will be drawing the breath from the teeth and exhaling through your nose while making a hissing sound. Doing the Mula Bandha, firmly contract the muscles of the pelvic floor, lifting it upward without tension. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa, rotating clockwise at the throat center. Gazing forward. So, if you know, the Shambhavi Mudra is going to be one of the mudras that we are going to be practicing in many of the asanas throughout the sequence, with awareness resting deeply within. Visualize yourself as one of the or as one who has already attained inner order, nothing to chase. In Nivrityasana, in Siddhasana Chatwari.
सिद्धासन.
The next asana is Nivrityasana. You're going to be continuing to sit in the same position, drawing one heel in towards the perineum and stacking the opposite foot gently on top, allowing the knees to settle naturally. Engaging in the Shambhavi Mudra, Shitkari Kumbhaka Mula Bandha. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa, gazing forward, visualize the attention turning inward as if the senses gently disengage from the outer world and return home in Nivrityasana.
निवृत्त्यासन.
And now Simhasana Chaturtha, where we are going to be continuing to sit in the same position, placing the back of your hands on the respective knees, palms open, and your gaze towards the nose, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Shitkari Kumbhaka, and Mulabhanta. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize yourself as a majestic lion embodying courage, confidence, and regal calm in Simhasana Chaturtha.
दशासनेषु प्रथमं सिद्धासनं, द्वितीयं भद्रासनं, तृतीयं पद्मासनं, चतुर्थं गोमुखासनम्.
And next is the Mriga Swastikasana, where we're going to be continuing to be in the same position. We're going to be doing a unique mudra of Mrigashesha mudra, where you're going to be bringing forward your index finger, middle finger, and ring finger together, while your little finger is going to extend upward. Your thumbs are going to be coming outward as you place both the palms on your respective knees. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Sheetkari Kumbhaka, and Moola Bandha, where you're going to firmly contract the muscles of the pelvic floor, lifting it upward without tension. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize yourself as a gentle, alert deer, balanced, graceful, and deeply connected in Mrigaswastikasana.
स्थातव्यौ भूतले पादौ वासनस्थेन योगिना दक्षिणं वामभागे तु वामपादं तु दक्षिणे.
And now in Sthirasana, your legs are going to be in the comfortable position where you're going to be in the same position, drawing one heel in towards the perineum and stacking the opposite foot gently on top, allowing the knees to settle naturally. You're going to keep the hands in the Parashu Mudra and place it in front of the navel center, engaging in the Shitkari Kumbhaka, Moola Bandha, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize absolute steadiness at the center as if nothing inside you needs to shift or adjust in Sthirasana.
Sthirasana.
And next is Thitatapanasana, where your legs will be in the same position. You're going to extend both your hands up towards the sky, feeling the stretches in the sides of your back. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Shitkari Kumbhaka, and Moola Bandha. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize a steady inner heat building in the core, like a controlled flame that strengthens without agitation in Sthitatapanasana.
Sthitatapanasana.
The next asana is Pavanasana Dve, where we're going to start from a kneeling position, extending the spine straight as you kneel by keeping your entire body upright and placing your hands on the respective hips, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, and Moola Bandha. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham Japa, gazing forward. Visualize inner wind being contained and directed rather than scattered like air held under control instead of leaking in all directions in Pavanasana Dve.
Pavanasana.
The next asana is Purna Pada Trikonasana. From the same position, we are going to spread the foot wide apart, keeping the hands together in the Namaskara Mudra in front of the heart center, engaging in the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, where you're going to slightly contract the throat and draw the breath slowly in through the nostrils, producing the sound of an ocean as you retain the breath within. So in this asana, one thing to remember is to keep the knees together while spreading the feet only wide apart. Doing the Moola Bandha, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham Japa, visualize your base forming a complete unbroken triangle, each foot and knee contributing equally to your balance in Purna Pada Trikonasana.
Purnapada Trikonasana.
And now Simhasana Pancha. In the same position, you can now sit your hips onto the heels, keeping your palms facing down on your knees, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, and Jalandhara Bandha, tucking the chin in towards the chest, firmly contracting without straining the neck. It is important to also remember to lock your throat while doing this motion, bringing your gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a powerful lion, steadfast, confident, and fearless in Simhasana Pancha.
गुल्फौ च वृषणस्याधो व्युत्क्रमेणोर्ध्वताप्रत क्षितिमूलौ भूमिं स्थौ करो च जानूनोपरि.
The next set of asanas are going to be completely advanced asanas. We're going to be doing a lot of head balance asanas today. So if you're a female body who is there in the monthly cycle, you can refrain from doing the next set of asanas, that is going to be inverted position by balancing on the head. And if you have any health conditions, back injuries, you can also refrain from doing these asanas. And if you're doing it for the first time, do it very carefully by taking the support of a partner or the support of a wall. So the first asana is Ardha Vrikshasana. First, we're going to start by clasping the hands together, placing it on top of the mat with elbows placed wide apart. To measure, you can also hold on to your opposite elbows and then interlock it in front of you, keeping your head onto the ground firmly. Sometimes what initially people who are doing for the first time tend to do is keep the forehead onto the ground. In this asana, you should keep the crown, the complete top of the head onto the ground, walking the feet forward and slowly lifting it off the ground, lifting the toes off the ground and then straightening the leg up towards the sky. Now you're going to be bending the legs back, both the foot pointed towards the ground. As you do the Shirasi Mudra, which is resting the hands onto the head, which we're already in this position. Doing the Kevala Kumbhaka, allowing the breath to pause naturally, observe without forcing. Mula Bandha, firmly contract the muscles of the pelvic floor, lifting it upward without tension. Om Nithyananda Yoga Japa. Visualize a young tree lifting itself upward, roots firm, trunk forming strength still, and developing but reliable in Ardha Vrikshasana.
Ardha Vrikshasana.
Next is Ardhangri Vrikshasana. From the same position, extend your foot completely straight by bringing your left foot in towards the knees. Hold yourself on your head. If you need to relax and then get back into the position, you can definitely come back to a seated position and continue doing the Shirasi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a slim, steady tree, roots from Sahasrara Chakra spreading wide beneath the surface in Ardhangri Vrikshasana.
Ardhangri Vrikshasana.
And repeating Ardhangri Vrikshasana on the other side, now by bringing the right foot in towards the knee, doing the Shirasi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Om Nithyananda Yoga Japa. Visualize yourself as a slim, steady tree, roots from the Sahasrara Chakra spreading wide beneath the surface for support in Ardhangri Vrikshasana.
Ardhangri Vrikshasana.
And next is Anjalikasana. Coming back to a seated position onto your knees with your hips resting on the heels, keeping your hands together in the Anjali Mudra and placing in front of the heart center, doing the Kevala Kumbhaka Mula Bandha, gazing towards your nose. Visualize a radiant light glowing at your heart center as you express deep gratitude, humility, and reverence towards the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Shivam in Anjalikasana.
Januni bhumau nidhaya hastadvayam hridaye sthapayet Anjalikasanam idam pranamasanamiti.
The next asana is Mrityunjayasana, where we are going to again enter into the inverted position by keeping the interlocked palms onto the mat, walking forward and stretching your entire body straight. We are going to be engaging in the Vaishnavi Mudra, holding the outer vision steady without blinking while awareness remains inwardly observed. Doing the Kevala Kumbhaka, allow the breath to pause naturally, observe without forcing. Mula Bandha, firmly contract the muscles of the pelvic floor, lifting it upward without tension. Visualize yourself being blessed by Lord Shiva, transcending any and all fears in this asana.
Mrityujayasanam nama shirasa bhumim sprishan padau vyomni dhyayan mahadevam mrityunjam amritam labhet.
next asana is Urdhva Samyukta Padasana. So if you're able to continue to balance, you can continue to hold yourself there. If you want to relax for a second, you can come back down and again get into the inverted position. Bringing both your feet together and bringing it in towards the lower back. Holding yourself over here by doing the Vaishnavi Mudra. Hold your outer vision steady without blinking, while awareness remains deeply observed. Doing the Kevala Kumbhaka Mulabandha Om Nithyananda Parameshivoham Japa. Visualize your joint feet as a small radiant moon above you, gently drawing energy upward in Urdhva Samyukta Padasana.
Urdhva Samyukta Padasana.
Okay, now relax. In the same position, we're going to be doing the Vaishnavi Mudra Kevala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, as we're going to shift the visualization to visualize the emerging edge of strength and resolve within you like a sword in Khadgasana.
पुटितजानु प्रसार्य पादतले सममेव संयोजयेत् यथाशक्ति कुम्भकस्थितो व्यायामं समुपारभेत्.
And now in the next position of the Kalkahasana, we're going to be stretching the leg completely straight as you point the feet up towards the sky. Doing the Vaishnavi Mudra Kevala Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, visualize the shining blade of a sword fully forged and steady in your hand, embodying clarity, precision, and purposefulness in Kadgasana.
भुजाङ्गुलिभिर्भूमौ निहत्य करयोरङ्गुलि सम्यक् बध्नीयात् ललाटाग्रे भूमिस्थे कृत्वा कायं सम्यक् प्रसारयेत्.
And now in Urdhva Padmasana, from the same position, or you can come back down and then get back into the inverted position. Doing the Padmasana in the same position is the Urdhva Padmasana. Doing the Parashu Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Om Nithyananda Parameshivoham Japa. Visualize a lotus rising upward from still water, rooted below, untouched by turbulence, opening cleanly toward clarity in Urdhva Padmasana.
Urdhva Padmasana.
And next is Mandalasanam. In Mandalasanam, your head is going to be placed in the Parashumudra in the same position as you now walk your feet side to side, all the way towards the side. First, starting from walking it towards the left side and then towards the right. You're going to be repeating this in a dynamic motion, doing the Vaishnavi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, and Mulabandha, engaging in the japa Om Nithyananda Parameshivoham. Visualize a radiant, luminous mandala spinning steadily within you, its intricate patterns glowing with vibrant light and energy in Mandalasanam.
मण्डलासनं नाम पादाभ्यां भूमिं स्पृशन् हस्ताभ्यां च परिभ्रमन् मण्डलाकारं दक्षिणं वामं च.
And next is a completely advanced asana. Even if you're comfortable with doing the Shirasasana or balancing on your head already, do it very carefully as we now enter into Kadgasana Uttaranga. We will be starting off by keeping the palms wide apart as we balance on the head, walking the feet forward and lifting up into a straight position. So in this asana, the important note is to keep the palms as straight as extended as possible by keeping the elbows completely straight. Doing the Vaishnavi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, allowing the breath to pause naturally. Doing the Mulabandha, visualize a radiant sword with a blade capable of cutting down any external force in Kadgasana Uttaranga.
भुजाङ्गुली पूर्वतः प्रसार्य पादद्वयं पश्चान्नतं विधाय.
And next is Vajrasana, Padakara Mudrasana. Coming to a comfortable seated position, sitting on your heels by keeping your knees together, placing the palms facing downward onto your knees, doing the Shakti Chalana Mudra. where you're going to awaken the base energy with steady intent, drawing the prana upward throughout the spine, all the way towards the Sahasrara. Doing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, slightly contracting the throat and drawing the breath slowly in through the nostrils, producing the sound of an ocean. Mula Bandha, gaze towards your nose. Visualize dynamic energy coursing through your legs and spine as this rapid motion loosens tension and deepens flexibility.
वज्रासनस्थितो योगी कराभ्यां पादयुद्धं युध्यतुं चालयेदति वेगेन लैलीभवति निश्चितम्.
The next is Garudasana Shute, where you're going to be sitting onto the ground, spreading the heels such that it comes outside the sides of the thighs. Sitting onto the ground, continuing to keep your palms on your knees, doing the Vaishnavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gazing forward, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize Lord Garuda's majestic wings enveloping your body, wrapping you in protective strength and expansive freedom in Garudasana.
द्विजासनमप्यत्र कुक्कुटासनमुत्तमं फणगुप्तासनं चैव गरुडासनमेव च.
And next is Gorakshasana Dve. From the same position, you're going to be bringing your toes together behind your back and sitting on your heels. You're going to be holding on to your opposite toes in the Prana Mudra from behind your back, doing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, bringing your gaze towards your nose. Visualize the presence of sage Goraksha, the master who systemized Hatha Yoga as a practical path of self realization in Gorakshasana Dve.
घोरक्षासन.
Next is Kurmasana Shata. From the same position, spread the knees wide apart and bringing the palms onto the ground in front of you, bringing the chin onto the ground as you extend your back forward, chest onto the ground. Doing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, we're going to engage in a very unique Kumbhaka, a very unique mudra, the Kurma Mudra. As you draw the senses inward, becoming still and withdrawn like a tortoise within its shell. By withdrawing all the senses, doing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa, visualize the steady, patient presence of a turtle observing the world with calm wisdom in Kurmasana Shite.
देखना उदनरधरे कर्मासन को रहि विधकरे कुरुकुर.
And next is Adhokagasana, placing the palms flat onto the ground in front of you firmly as you lift your hips up towards the sky, bringing your heels towards the ground as much as possible. You can keep the leg and hands completely wide apart from each other as you hold yourself over here doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. Bring your gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a graceful, mystical bird, majestic in your descent in Adhokagasana.
ऊर्ध्वखागो मध्यखागस्तथो न खागयिष्यते निराधारोऽपि चाग स्याकच्चिदङ्गवारिवरादिः.
next asana is Alidhasana. So in this asana, we're going to be standing straight. So let us come to a standing position. Bringing one foot forward and extending the other back as you bring your toes onto the ground, the back foot toes onto the ground. So if you're doing it on the right side, keeping your right knees forward and left behind, tucking your toes in, doing the Dhanu Mudra by clenching both the fist palms into a fist and extending it forward. So if you're bringing your right knee forward, your right hand is going to be forward, and you're going to draw the left hand in in a position of yourself holding a bow and arrow, doing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize yourself as a focused, honorable archer, steady in Alidhasana.
आलीढतु प्रकर्तं प्रकर्त व्यसव्यं चैवानुकुञ्चितं दक्षिणं तु पुरस्ताद्वा दूरपाते विशिष्यते.
The next is Ardha Chandrasana Dve. You can keep your leg in the same position, just the tucked toes behind you is now going to relax such that your left foot is kept in a angle behind you as you bend your right knee forward, and you're going to bend forward, bringing your chest towards the knees and wrapping your hands from the side around your shins as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, gazing up. Visualize the cool moonlight rising through your spine, filling you with steady in Ardha Chandrasana Dve.
भुजेन जानुवेष्टयित्वा मूर्धानं भूमौ नयेत् निदेशककुम्भकं कृत्वा श्वासं सप्तधा साधयेत्.
So in this asana, one thing to remember is we might tend to droop the shoulders forward. So remember to bring your shoulders all the way up by opening your chest completely and looking up towards the sky. So when you look towards the sky, you will also see that your shoulder opens. Now we are going to be doing the Baddha Parshva Konasana. Now you're going to be interlocking your hands behind your back by bringing it from inside your knees as you do the Parashu Mudra behind your back, doing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, gazing upward. Visualize being firmly as you visualize being firmly bound by a strong, unbreakable rope of discipline and focus in Baddha Parshva Konasana.
कक्षयोपादसन्धिश्च धारणं काथेत बुध उदरस्करद्योचैव धारणं वरपादयो.
And next, we are going to be doing the Urdhva Akasha Sthatakasana. So for this, you can come to a standing position, or you can also start from a laying down position. In this, one of your palms are going to be resting onto the ground. So if you did it on the right side, your right palm can rest onto the ground as you lift your left hand off the ground. So in this asana, what you can also do is start off by keeping both your palms together and lifting into Chakrasana position by lifting your hips up towards the sky and extending one of the hands behind. Or you can also start from a position that your one palm is already onto the ground as you arc your back and lift the palm behind. So whichever is comfortable for you, you can do it in that way. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize yourself as a radiant, untethered, mystical bird soaring freely with your chest lifted towards the sky in Urdhva Akasha Sthatakasana.
ऊर्ध्वखागो मध्यखागस्तथा धाखाग् दोखागयिष्यते निराधारोऽपि छागस्याकिश्चिदङ्गपराधिः.
And next is Pratyalidasana, which is also called as Alidhasana. As we repeat the set of asanas on the other side. So now bending your left knee forward as you tuck your right toes onto the ground, extending it, keeping it completely straight. As you keep your right knee completely straight and bend your left knee forward, bringing your hands into a fist and doing the Dhanu Mudra by extending your left palm forward and bringing your right fist inside. As you do the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself as a focused, honorable archer, steady and unwavering in Pratyali Dasana.
अग्रतो वामपादश्च दक्षिणं चानुकुञ्चितं प्रत्यालीढं प्रकर्तव्यं हस्तद्वयसविस्तरम्.
Now, keeping your legs in the same position, you're going to be just angling the right foot forward as you bend forward and hold on to your ankles from inside as you open your chest and look up. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. As you visualize cool moonlight rising through your spine, filling you with steady, calming energy in Ardha Chandrasana Dve.
भुजेन जानुं वेष्टयित्वा मूर्धानं भूमौ नयेत् निदेशकुम्भकं कृत्वा श्वासं सप्तधा साधयेत्.
The next asana is Baddha Parshvakonasana. Interlocking the palms behind you by bringing it from under your knees, looking up towards the sky, opening your chest, doing the Parshu Mudra behind your back. The Parshu Mudra is where you interlock your hands together. Interlock your hands together behind your back as you do the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, gazing towards the side, looking up towards the sky, doing Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize being firmly bound by a strong, unbreakable rope of discipline and focus in Baddha Parshvakonasana.
कक्षयोपादसन्धिश्च धारणं काथेत बुध उदरस्खधयोश्चैव धारणं वरपादयो.
And now Urdhva Akasha Statakasana, placing the left palm now flat onto the ground as you lift your hip up and extend your right hand completely straight on facing towards the sky. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize yourself as a radiant, untethered, mystical bird soaring freely with your chest lifted towards the sky in Urdhva Akasha Statakasana.
ऊर्ध्वखागो मध्यखागस्तथा दोखाग इष्यते निराधारोऽपि छाग स्याकिजिदङ्गपराधिः.
And next is Bhairavashtapadasana, bringing 6 parts of your body onto the ground, starting by bringing 8 parts of the body onto the ground by starting by bringing your chin onto the ground, chest onto the ground, knees and your respective feet onto the ground. Lifting your hip slightly up towards the sky. You can walk your knees slightly forward to lift it and feel the arc in your back. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize Lord Kala Bhairava seated firmly in your heart, blazing like a dark, intense sun of fierce power and time's unstoppable force in Bhairavashtapadasana.
अष्टपादासने स्थित्वा भैरवं हृदि धारयेत् कुक्कुटासनवत् प्रोक्तं जानुभ्यामधो विलोकनम्.
And next is Madhyakaghasana, bringing the inside of your hips onto the ground and lifting your chest, opening it, bringing your sometimes what we tend to do is bringing the shoulder towards the elbow. You should bring your shoulders away from your ears as much as possible. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize yourself as a bird soaring upward, embodying freedom, confidence, and clarity in Madhyakagasana.
ऊर्ध्वकागो मध्यकागस्तथा धोकाग इष्यते निराधारोऽपि चाग स्याकिचिदङ्गवरादिः.
Next is Ekapadasana Trini, which we will be doing in a standing position. You can come to a standing position. Nicely rest your right foot firmly onto the ground as you keep your hands on the ground. Slowly extend the left foot up towards the sky. As much as possible, you're going to be trying your best to straighten, keep both your legs straight. As you balance on your foot, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gaze towards your nose. Visualize a radiant beam of light flowing from the cosmic source through your crown in Ekapadasana 3.
मत्स्येन्द्रं पाशमत्स्येन्द्रं बन्धमत्स्येन्द्रमेव च निरालम्बं च चान्द्राख्यं कण्ठवं चैकपादकम्.
We are repeating Ekapadasana 3 on the other side. Now firmly keeping your left foot onto the ground, extending your right foot straight up towards the sky. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gazing towards your nose. Visualize radiant beam of light flowing from the cosmic sources through your crown in Ekapadasana 3.
मत्स्येन्द्रं पाशमत्स्येन्द्रं बन्धमत्स्येन्द्रमेव च निरालम्बं च चान्द्राख्यं कण्ठवं चैकपादकम्.
And next is Vrikshasana Trini, standing in a straight position, bringing your upper body parallel towards the ground by arcing your back backwards. So in this asana, what we tend to do is from all the way from the lower back, if you try to bend backward, you might lose your balance and fall behind. So in this asana, what you can do is to bend from the upper back and ensure that your entire upper body is parallel towards the ground as you extend your hands up above your head. Keeping your hands together in the Anjali Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. Visualize a strong tree in your mind, roots gripping the earth, trunk steady, crown open to the sky in Vrikshasana 3.
Vrikshasana.
And next is Marakatasana Dve, bending forward, spreading the feet slightly wide apart. As you bring your hands from the center of your foot and holding on to the ankle from behind. As you do your best to bring your head completely inside your knees. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself as a playful monkey embodying qualities of flexibility, agility in Marakatasana.
भैरवं कामदहनं पाणिपात्रं च कार्मुकं स्वस्तिकं गोमुखं वीरं माण्डूकं मर्कटासनम्.
And next is Kantadiyasana. We're going to be standing with the feet wide, knees bent at a 90-degree angle, and it is going to be stacked above the ankle as your thighs are completely parallel towards the ground. Keeping the hands together in front of your heart as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize yourself as Lord Paramashiva, grounded and unwavering energy rising to the throat center in Kantadiyasana.
Kantadiyasana.
And next is Kaundinyasana. In Kaundinyasana, we're going to be starting by bending your knees and sinking your hips down, twisting your torso to one side and bringing both hands to the mat, shoulder width apart. As you place the thigh of your bent leg on the opposite upper arm, bending your elbows to create a shelf. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as Kaundinya Maharshi embodying luminous intellect and serene devotion as you lift your feet off the ground in Kaundinyasana.
वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यमूर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमथोत्थानमयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Repeating Kaundinyasana on the other side as you bring the opposite knees onto the elbow and extend your leg completely straight, lifting it off the ground, balancing only on your hands. So in this asana, what we can remember to do is to slightly bend the arms such that the entire body is parallel towards the ground. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, visualize yourself as Kaundinya Maharishi, embodying luminous intellect and serene devotion in Kaundinyasana.
वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यमूर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमथोत्थानमयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Next is Manduki Pavasana, coming to a plank position. By keeping your entire body parallel towards the ground, keeping your toes and palms onto the ground. As you hold yourself over here, we are going to be bringing the left hand from behind and holding on to the right elbow from behind. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Murabandha, see yourself as a frog at rest, low, alert, poised. Strength spreads evenly through the feet and supporting hand grounding close to the earth in this asana.
माण्डूकी पावासना.
Repeating Manduki Pavasana on the other side by now bringing the right palm towards the elbows of the opposite side and holding on to the elbow. What you can also do is to open your chest slightly so you find the hole and then you can come back to the plank position. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, visualize yourself as a frog at rest, low, alert and poised in Manduki Pavasana.
माण्डूकी पावासना.
And next is Hamsasana Trini, keeping the hands flat onto the ground as you start from a kneeling position with palms on the mat just below your navel. You're going to lean forward and bend your elbows to stack them under your wrists as you lift both your legs straight up to balance only on your hands. So one thing to remember is, unlike the Mayurasana, in this asana the palms are going to be kept such that the fingers point forward. As you can do this asana as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. Visualize yourself as a serene swan poised with elegance and effortless balance in Hamsasana.
हंसासनं नाम करतलौ निधायोदरे पादौ पृष्ठे समुत्थाप्य हंसवद्विचरेद्बुधः.
And now in Prasaritasana, you're going to start from a position where your feet are spread wide apart and you're standing. You're going to now bend forward, bringing the head pointed down towards the sky as you interlock your hands and hands pointing up towards the sky. As you do the hands in the Parashu Mudra, doing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Jalandhara Bandha, tucking the chin towards your chest firmly without restraining the neck. Visualize yourself extending deeply in a bow towards Paramashiva, embodying as your wise and compassionate Guru. In Prasaritasana.
तद्वत् पाददयं कुर्यात् तन्मुखं तु प्रणामितं पृष्ठोपु अपधानस्थं सम्प्रसार्य करद्वयम्.
And the next asana is Utkata Konasana Dve. Keeping your legs wide apart, you're now going to be bending your leg into 90-degree angles and stacking it above the ankle, thighs parallel to the ground, keeping the spine straight and chest tilted slightly downward. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, embody goddess Kali's bold energy centered, unshaken.
सप्तचक्रक्षालनाय वृक्षासनविशेषकान् जननेन्द्रियदार्ढ्याय कोणभेदान् समभ्यसेत्.
And the next asana is Parivritta Utkata Konasana. And from the same position, now you're going to be turning your entire body towards the right side, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. Gaze forward, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize that as your body turns, imagine Goddess Kali rising within, releasing tension and old emotional weight in Parivrita Utkata Konasana.
सप्तचक्रक्षालनाय वृक्षासनविशेषकान् जननेन्द्रियदार्ढ्याय कोणभेदान् समभ्यसेत्.
Now repeating Parivrita Utkata Konasana on the other side. As you now turn towards the left side, completely twisting your body towards the left side. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Moola Bandha. As your body turns, imagine Goddess Kali rising within, releasing tension and old emotional weight in Parivrita Utkata Konasana.
सप्तचक्रक्षालनाय वृक्षासनविलो विशेषकान् जननेन्द्रियदार्ढ्याय कोणभेदान् समभ्यसेत्.
And next is Utkata Konasana. Coming back to a position that you're facing forward, keeping your legs in the same position. Now you're going to be palms facing forward, keeping your hands also into a 90-degree angle. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Moola Bandha, visualize embodying Goddess Kali's fierce grace, strength, clarity, and inner freedom in Utkata Konasana.
सप्तचक्रक्षालनाय वृक्षासनविशेषकान् जननेन्द्रियदार्ढ्याय कोणभेदान् समभ्यसेत्.
And next is Ghanasana, coming to a straight standing position, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Moola Bandha. Visualize yourself becoming dense and contained like a solid block that cannot be disturbed or scattered in Ghanasana.
घनासन.
And next is Tula Dandasana, bending forward by balancing on your left foot and stretching your right behind as you extend your body completely straight, doing Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Moola Bandha. Gaze downward, visualize your body strong and straight in perfect balance like a firm staff in Tula Dandasana.
तुलादण्डासनं नाम पादौ भूमौ स्थापयित्वा शरीरं तुलादण्डवत् समं धारयेदित्युच्यते.
And now repeating Tula Dandasana on the other side. Now by balancing on your left foot, you're going to be extending your right leg completely back as you bend forward. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Moola Bandha. Visualize your body strong and straight in perfect balance like a firm staff in Tula Dandasana.
तुलादण्डासनं नाम पादौ भूमौ स्थापयित्वा शरीरं तुलादण्डवत् समं धारयेदित्युच्यते.
The next asana is Niradhara Adah Khagasana, which you can do with the support of a partner. Your partner can hold your foot as you keep your palms flat onto the ground. And you balance on your hand with your legs completely straight. So if you do not have a partner with you, what you can also do is take the support of a wall as you walk your legs onto the wall and bring yourself into a complete 90-degree angle. Your entire body is going to make a 90-degree angle, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Samavritti Kumbhaka and Moola Bandha. Visualize yourself as a powerful mystical bird flying straight and strong, soaring close above the ground with unwavering focus in Niradhara Adah Khagasana.
ऊर्ध्वखागो मध्यखागस्तथाधोखाग इष्यते निराधारोऽपि छाग स्याच्चिदपि चरणेनापराधिः.
You can now relax. Next is Hastasana, which also you can do with the support of a partner, coming to a complete handstand position by balancing on your hands. So this is an inverted asana. If you're a female body in a monthly cycle, you can refrain from doing this asana. And if you have any injuries, back ailments, you can refrain from doing this asana. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Samavritti, Kumbhaka and Moola Bandha, visualize yourself grounded yet powerful through focused awareness and inner strength in Hastasana.
हस्तासनं नाम करतलौ भूमौ स्थापयित्वा पादौ पृष्ठे समुत्थाप्य हस्ताभ्यां धारयेत् बलात्.
And next is Hasta Vrikshasana. From the same position, you're going to be balancing only on one of your hands as you hinge forward at the hip and place both as you balance only on your right palm. You can now lift your left off the ground doing Shambhavi Mudra, Samavritti Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. Visualize yourself as a tree firmly rooted in the ground in Hasta Vrikshasana.
हस्तवृक्षासनं नाम एकहस्तेन भूमिं स्पृशन् अपरं हस्तमूर्ध्वं कृत्वा वृक्षवद्विजृम्भेत्.
And in the same position in Ekahasta Niradhara Khagasana, do the Shambhavi Mudra, Samavritti Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. As you visualize the entire body lifting smoothly and effortlessly upward, as if beyond buoyed by an invisible limb of consciousness extending from within in Ekahasta Niradhara Khagasana.
ऊर्ध्वकागो मध्यकागस्तथा कोकाग इष्यते निराधारोऽपि चाघ स्याचिकागश्चिद्वरादिः.
And next is Hasta Vrikshasana, repeated on the other side. Now lifting your left palm off the ground as you balance on your right, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Samavritti Kumbhaka and Mulabandha. Visualize yourself as a tree firmly rooted in the ground. Despite a slender trunk, you are incredibly strong and steady in Hasta Vrikshasana.
हस्तवृक्षासनं नाम एकहस्तेन भूमिं स्पृशन् अपरं हस्तमूर्ध्वं कृत्वा वृक्षवद्विजृम्भेत्.
In the same position, now we're just going to change the visualization. Visualize your entire body lifting smoothly and effortlessly upward as if buoyed by an invisible limb of consciousness in Ekahasta Niradharakaghasana.
ऊर्ध्वकागो मध्यकागस्तथा कोगाग इष्यते निराधारोऽपि चाग स्याच्चिद्लिङ्गद्वरादिः.
And next is Gomukhasana Trini. Coming to a seated position and crossing your entire leg such that the knees are aligned in front of you. Bringing your left knee on top of the right and sitting onto the ground. You're going to be now holding on to the opposite shoulders from behind your back. Keeping your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, we're going to do Apakarshaka Kumbhaka, where you're going to partially close the nose and inhale, hold your breath and exhale with awareness resting deeply within. As you do the Mula Bandha, gazing towards your nose, visualize yourself embodying the gentle awareness of a cow's face, soft, wide eyes open to the world and calm patience in Gomukhasana Trini.
भैरवं कामदहनं पाणिपात्रं च कार्मुकं स्वस्तिकं गोमुखं वीरं माण्डूकं मर्कटासनम्.
And next is Gomukhasana Chatwari, where you're going to keep your right elbows pointing up towards the sky, left elbows pointing up towards the sky, while your right elbow points towards the ground. As you interlace your hands from behind your back, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Apakarshaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gaze towards your third eye. Visualize yourself as a gentle, intelligent cow embodying calm patience, deep, nurturing care and grounded strength in Gomukhasana Chatwari.
सिद्धं पद्मं तथा सिंहं भद्रं वज्रं च मुक्तकं गुप्तं गोमुखमेकं च वीरं स्वस्तिकमेव च.
Next is Bandha Pashva Avesha, bringing the left palm flat onto the stomach. As you bring from the back, as you bring your right hand from behind your back and hold on to your left arm, keeping your left hand on your belly, lean towards the left side and bring your forehead towards the ground. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Apakarshaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize your Kundalini rising up and spine through your chest and your the crown of your head in Bandha Pashva Avesha.
धारयित्वा पृष्ठे शयान कटिं निष्कुच्य दृढम् उत्तोलयेत्.
And next is Senahasana, starting with your right knee bent and foot at the left hip. Cross your left foot, keeping the knees raised and placing the left foot flat onto the ground outside of the bent left right knee. As you take your right hand and hold on to the right knee and twist your upper body towards the left side, bringing your left arm behind your back. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Apakashaka Kumbhaka, and Mulabandha, visualize yourself with eagle's sharp vision, seeing your path clearly ahead in Shenahasana.
वामं पादं दक्षिणतले स्थापयित्वा दृढं न्यसेत्. दक्षिणकक्षया वामजानुं कसाति ग्रन्थये तत्र.
The twist in your hips as you now turn towards the opposite direction. As you cross your right foot, keeping it in the same position, take your left hand and hold on to the right foot at the hip, opening your chest towards the right side in the opposite direction, and raise your right arm straight up, palms facing outward. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Apakashaka Kumbhaka, and Mulabandha, see yourself soaring like an eagle, lifting effortlessly on powerful wings. Embrace courage, rising above obstacles in this asana.
वामं पादं दक्षिणतले स्थापयित्वा दृढं न्यसेत्. दक्षिणकक्षया वामजानुं कसाति ग्रन्थये तत्र.
And next is Go Matsyendrasana, twisting back into the opposite direction, bringing your opposite elbows towards the knees, doing Parshu Mudra behind your back. So in this asana, you're going to be bringing your hands from the center of your knees and interlocking it behind your back. As you do the Apakarshaka Kumbhaka, partially closing the nose and doing Rechaka Puraka, where you're going to inhale and slightly hold your breath and then release, doing the Mula Bandha. See yourself as a bow drawn back and steady focused tension as you embody poised power and readiness in Go Matsyendrasana.
धनुराकर्षक पृष्ठधनुरासनमीकृतं. वामोर्मूलपर्तितं दक्षिणपादं जान्वोर्बहिर्वेष्टितं वामदोषान्.
And next is Ardhasana. From a seated position, bring one foot and place it on top of the opposite thigh, keeping the other leg bent beneath you as you sit upright with the spine tall and shoulders relaxed. Doing the Vaishnavi Mudra with your eyes open without blinking, you're going to hold the outer vision while awareness rests deeply within. Doing the Apakashaka Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, gazing towards your third eye. Visualize the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, in your inner space.
करुमासनमपि श्रेष्ठं दर्दुरासनमुच्यते. गजासनं समुद्दिष्टं ततोर्धासनमुच्यते.
And next is Vama Chaturamsha Padasana, by interlacing your hands together and placing it in front of your stomach, doing the Parashu Mudra, keeping your legs in the same position, doing Apakashaka Kumbhaka Mula Bandha. As you align both your knees together by placing your feet towards the sides of your hips, as you do the Apakashaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gaze towards your nose. Visualize balance returning through the left side as if subtle imbalances are being corrected and brought back into harmony in Vama Chaturamsha Padasana.
वामचतुरांशपादासन.
And next is Charapati Asana. In the same position, your legs are going to be in the same position. Your wrist is going to be coming towards the sides of your hips as your fingers point backward. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Apakashaka Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize grounded patience, rhythmic precision, unhurried power, quiet reliability, resilient focus, and steady endurance in Charapati Asana.
चरपटी आसन.
And in Govindasana, in the same position, you're going to be placing your palms onto the knees, palms facing up towards the sky, resting on top of each other, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Apakashaka Kumbhaka, and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself seated as a calm guardian, steady and unhurried, holding space rather than exerting control in Govindasana.
Govindasana.
And next is Lovely Asana. In the same position, you're going to hold on to your toes as you do the Shakti Chalana Mudra, awakening the base energy with steady intent, drawing prana upward through the spine. Doing the Apakarshaka Kumbhaka, we're going to engage in the Udhyana Bandha, continuing to do the Mula Bandha, which is going to be constant throughout the sequence. Now draw the abdomen inward towards the spine and lift it upward in Udhyana Bandha. As you gaze towards your nose, visualize your Kundalini awakening from the base of your spine in Lovely Asana.
Sarvanga deva kundali shakti chalanam chalanat kundali devyas sa bhavet prabho.
And next is Janu Praranahasana. Continuing to hold on to your feet, you're going to, in the Prana Mudra, you're going to be bending forward, bringing your forehead towards the ground as much as possible. As you do the Apakarshaka Kumbhaka, partially closing the nose and inhaling, holding the breath and releasing. As you do the Mula Bandha, visualize your Kundalini as a sacred flame being ignited by a spinning stick in this asana.
Janupidanam kritva madhyam savya dakshinam prerayet.
And next is Pada Samyukta Parivrittahasana. You can now come back to a straight, bringing your back completely straight. You're going to be crossing your hands in front of you, holding on to the opposite sides, holding on to the respective toes. Doing the Prana Mudra, Apakarshaka Kumbhaka, you're going to be leaning gently over the raised knee, lowering your chest and bringing your forehead towards your thigh. As you do the Mula Bandha, visualize your Kundalini awakening along your spine, gently flowing upward as you sit with your legs crossed. Gazing towards the side.
Kunchayitva hastatale nivesha grivam adhikam parivartayet.
And now we're going to be crossing the hands from behind the back and holding on to the respective toes from behind the back in Prana Mudra. Extending the index and middle finger together and wrapping it around the big toe. As you do the Apakarshaka Kumbhaka and Udhyana Bandha, drawing the abdomen inward towards the spine and lifting it upward, gaze towards your nose. Visualize a fierce, focused energy igniting within you like Paramashiva's arrow piercing through inertia in Ganeshasana.
Gomukhe samsthitim kritva parshnim vyatyasya yugmake tatra shivanikam sthapya ganeshasanam iritam.
And next is Bandha Parshva Avesha, repeating these sets of asanas on the other side. Now you can bring your right knee on top, aligning it on top of your left knee as you do the Shambhavi Mudra. We are now going to be bringing the right hand behind your left hand behind your back as you place your right hand on your belly. Lean towards the right side as you bring your forehead towards the ground. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Apakarshaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize your Kundalini raising your spine through your chest and crown of your head in this asana.
Dharayitva prishte shayana katim nishkuchya dridham uttolayet.
And next is Senahasana. On the other side, as you start with your left knee bent and foot at the right hip, cross your right foot, keeping the knee raised in place, placing the right foot flat onto the ground as you twist your body, taking your right hand and holding on to the right knee and twisting your body. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Apakarshaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself with the eagle's sharp vision as you look completely behind you. Doing the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham in Senahasana.
Vamam padam dakshinatale sthapayitva dridham nyaset dakshinakakshaya vamajanam kasati granthaye tatra.
And next is Senahasana Purvanga as you now take your left hand and hold on. As you now take your right hand and hold on to the left foot at the hip, opening your chest towards the left side in the opposite direction. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Apakarshaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, see yourself soaring like an eagle lifting effortlessly on powerful wings in Shenahasana Purvanga Dve.
वामं पादं दक्षिणतले स्थापयित्वा दृढं न्यसेत् दक्षिणकक्षया वामभुजा वामजानुं कसाति ग्रन्थये तत्र.
And now you can again twist your back as you bring your hands from between your shins and the knees and hold on to it behind you. In Go Matsyendrasana, as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Apakarshaka Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself as a bow drawn back with steady tension, embodying poised power in Go Matsyendrasana.
धनुराकर्षका कृष्टधनुरासनमिधृतं वामोरुमूलर्पितं दक्षिणपादं जान्वोर्बहिर्वेष्टितं वामदोषान्.
And next, Ardha Kurmasana, coming to a kneeling position as you sit onto your heels, bringing your elbows from between your knees as you bend forward, bringing your chin towards the ground, doing the Kurma Mudra, drawing the senses inward, becoming still and withdrawn like a tortoise within its shell, doing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mulabandha, gazing towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a tranquil, steadfast tortoise drawing inward for shelter and renewal in Ardha Kurmasana.
अर्धकूर्मासनं नाम पादौ पृष्ठे समर्पितौ हस्तौ च पार्श्वयोः स्थाप्य शिरः प्रणमेत् भुवि.
And next is Sauriyasana, starting in a kneeling position with your toes tucked and sitting bones onto the back of your heels as you spread your knees out wide and place your palms on the respective upper thighs so the fingers point upward towards the body. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Udhyana Bandha, feel the sun's warm steady glow centering in your body in Sauriyasana.
Sauri Asana.
And next is Dakshinangri Pavana Muktasana, bringing as you be in a seated position with one heel drawn in close to the perineum, grounding your weight evenly, placing the opposite foot flat on the ground with the knees raised upward, keeping your spine long as you thread your arms along onto the other front of your chest, sliding them between your torso. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize trapped pressure and restlessness being squeezed out cleanly from the lower body in Ardha Pavana, Dakshinangri Pavana Muktasana.
Dakshinangri Pavana Muktasana.
And next is Ardha Paschimottanasana. Sit with one leg stretched out straight in front, placing the heel of the other foot firmly against the perineum to apply gentle pressure. As you extend your arm forward to grip the toes and stretch your legs as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize your extended leg, grounding your energy with the heel pressing gently into the perineum to anchor prana in Ardha Paschimottanasana.
पादं विस्तीर्णं कुर्यात् पादस्य येष गुदे सन्निपात करित उत्क्षिप्य पादाङ्गुष्ठं सपीनोर्ध्वं स्थापयेत्.
The next is Vamavakrasana. Start sitting on your knees with your right heels resting beneath your sitting bones for support, bringing your left knee to the side of your left hip as you allow the legs to settle comfortably, lengthening your spine as you gently twist your upper body towards the left, keeping the movement slow and controlled as you place your hands in front of your stomach, one resting on top of the other, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize all patterns loosening their grip as you turn gently towards the left leg, like untwisting a rope without force in Vamavakrasana.
Vamavakrasana.
And next is Vamangri Pavana Muktasana, bringing your left knee now in towards your chest. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, as you thread your arms across one onto the other in front of your chest, sliding them between your torso and lifting your thighs to secure them in between. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize accumulated tension and stagnant energy releasing gently from the left side like pressure slowly easing out without resistance in Mamangri Pavana Muktasana.
Vamangri Pavana Muktasana.
And now repeating Ardha Paschimottanasana on the other side. As you place your heel of the other foot firmly against the perineum to apply gentle pressure and extend the left foot straight in front of you, holding on to it and bringing your forehead towards your knees. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as the guardian of the West, embodying the vast flowing power of water and cosmic oceans like Lord Varuna. Feel a steady calm in this asana.
Padam vistirnam kuryat padasya yesha gude sannipata karita utshipya padangushtam sapinodhvam stapayet.
Next is Dakshina Vakrasana. As you start sitting on your knees with your left heel resting beneath your sitting bones for support, bringing your right knee to the outside of your right hip, allowing the legs to settle comfortably. As you place your hands in front of your stomach on one on top of the other, doing Shambhavi Mudra Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize the body realigning through a clean turn to the right as if internal systems are being reset into proper order in Dakshina Vakrasana.
Dakshina Vakrasana.
And next is going to be a sequence of asanas starting with Kapotahasana Dve. Starting from a kneeling position, you're going to be bringing your hands onto the ground in front of you and extending one leg straight backward as you keep the opposite knees bent and heels slightly crossed inward towards the groin. As you bring your hands to the respective hips and pushing the hips and chest forward as you arc your back slightly, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a serene dove, embodying grace and calm strength in Kapotahasana.
Langadridapadam ekam prasarya anyama kuncha guhyenyasya.
Next is Kapotahasana Dve Purvanga. Keeping your legs in the same position, you're going to arc your back behind as you bring your hands to the respective. Bring both your hands onto the feet and twist your body as you look up towards the sky. First, you can start off by holding on with one of your hands and twisting your elbows from outside and looking up towards the sky as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a dove poised in graceful readiness, radiating a harmonious blend of strength and ease in Kapotahasana Dvipurvanga.
Prasarita padangushtam shiraprishthe vinamayet kayachala purnam vyayamam samacharet.
And next is Prishtabandha Bhairavasana. Your front leg is going to be in the same position as you bring your opposite hand from behind, holding on to the opposite toes. Bringing your hands to the respective hip and pushing the hip and chest forward, gently leaning your upper body back and opening up the chest as you lift your head up, bending the back knee and lifting the foot upward as you hold on to the big toes from behind as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize Lord Bhairava's fierce energy rising within you, embodying unstoppable transformative energy and fearless power as you gaze upward.
वामपादं दक्षिणोरुं समाधाय पृष्ठतः दक्षहस्तेन गृह्णीयाद् वामं पादं शिरोन्तके.
Okay, now relax. The next asana is where you're going to be spreading both your feet completely wide apart into a split position. Holding on to your respective sides of the hips as you arc your back, looking upwards as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a tranquil dove, soaring with open grace, embodying expansive freedom in Kapotahasana Dve Uttaranga.
कुञ्चितजानुं पुरस्तात् प्रसार्य निदेशकुम्भकमयुक्तं कुर्यात् पश्चात् पार्श्वनीन् विन्यस्तं सप्तवारं शून्यककुम्भके तिष्ठेत्.
And now bending forward, bring your forehead onto the knees as you extend your hand and hold on to the front foot. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi, Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze downward, visualize yourself as a peaceful dove grounded in quiet contemplation and deep focus in Kapotahasana Dve, Uttaranga Dve.
कुञ्चितजानुं पुरस्तात् प्रसार्य निदेशकुम्भकयुक्तं कुर्यात्. पश्चात् पार्श्वविन्यस्तं सप्तवारं शून्यककुम्भके तिष्ठेत्.
We are repeating the set of asanas on the other side now. As you now bring your left knee forward and extend your right leg behind and hold on to your hip and arc your back as you bring your gaze up towards the sky. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself as a serene dove embodying grace and calm strength in Kapotahasana Dve.
लङ्घदृढपादम् एकं प्रसार्य अन्यं मा कुञ्च गुह्यन्यस्य.
Next is Kapotahasana Dve Purvanga as you hold on to your feet from behind and slightly twist your elbows such that it points up towards the sky, holding on to your feet, pulling it towards your head as much as possible. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi, Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a dove poised in graceful readiness, radiating a harmonious blend of strength and ease as you do Kapotahasana Dve.
प्रसारितपादाङ्गुष्ठं शिरपृष्ठे विनमयेत्. कायच्छालपूर्वं व्यायामं समाचरेत्.
And next is Prishthabandha Bhairavasana. Being the same position, we are going to be bringing the left hand from behind, holding onto the left foot from the side, and right hand extending and holding onto the right foot as you twist your right elbow pointed up towards the sky, doing the Shambhavi Mudra. As you bend backward, bringing your gaze up towards the sky. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Japa. Visualize Lord Bhairava's fierce energy rising within you, embodying unstoppable transformative energy and fearless power in Prishtabandha Bhairavasana.
वामपादं दक्षिणोरुं समाधाय पृष्ठतः दक्षहस्तेन गृह्णीयात्. वामं पादं शिरोन्तके.
And next is Kapotahasana Uttaranga. We are going to be repeating the asana on the other side by now coming to a split leg position, extending the left leg forward, bring the right leg extended completely behind as you hold on to the respective sides of the hips and arc your back slightly, bringing your gaze up towards the sky, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a tranquil dove soaring with open grace, embodying expansive freedom and radiant openness. What you can also do is, if you're still not able to get completely into the position, you can stay slightly up, just bringing your back knee onto the ground, and you can arc your back as much as possible.
कुञ्चितजानुं पुरस्तात् प्रसार्य निदेशकुम्भकयुक्तं कुर्यात्.
And next is Kapotahasana Dve Uttaranga, keeping your legs in the same position, bend forward and hold on to the front extended foot as you bring your forehead towards the knees, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a peaceful dove grounded in quiet contemplation and deep focus in Kapotahasana Uttaranga Dve.
कुञ्चितजानुं पुरस्तात् प्रसार्य निदेशकुम्भकयुक्तं कुर्यात्. पश्चात् पार्श्वविन्यस्तं सप्तवारं शून्यककुम्भके तिष्ठेत्.
And next is Nishwasasana. As you extend both your legs forward and keep your hands in Parashumudra, resting it on top of your navel center. As you do the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, keep your head, neck and spine in a straight line, doing the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize each exhale emptying you completely as if stale air, tension and excess effort are leaving the body without resistance in Nishwasasana.
निश्वासासन.
And next is Garbhasana Dve. Continue to keep your legs in the same position, bend forward, bringing your forehead towards the shin. While doing this asana, one thing to remember is to extend your back upper body all the way from the lower back. What we tend to breathe slowly in through the nostrils, producing the sound of an ocean. Mula Bandha, gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself nestled in the nurturing, protective embrace of the womb in Garbhasana way.
पादौ दण्डवद्भूमौ प्रसार्य पादाग्रं हस्ताभ्यां गृहीत्वा ललाटं जानुशून्यस्य गर्भासनं इदं गर्भासनं मे मधेयकम्.
Now relax. Now we're going to be spreading the feet wide apart. As you do the Trikona Hasana Purvanga, holding on to the opposite respective toes, bending forward, bringing your chin towards the ground. So in this asana, remember to keep your chin towards the ground. Even if you're not able to completely bend forward and bring your chest towards the ground. As you do the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself as a perfect triangle, stable, balanced, and expansive, gazing towards the nose in Trikona Hasana Purvanga.
पादाङ्गुष्ठद्वयं गृहीत्वा पादा विस्तार्य वेगेन वक्षश्चिबुकं च भूमौ निहत्य व्यायाम चरेत्.
And next is Trikona Hasana Trini. From the same position, you can now bring your forehead onto the ground as you hold on to the toes in the Prana Mudra, doing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and tucking your chin in towards the chest into the Jalandhara Bandha. Visualize yourself as a luminous triangle lifting gently from its base, strong and poised in this asana.
पादाङ्गुष्ठयुगं दृढग्रहं कृत्वा प्रसारितपादः वेगेन रेचककर्मणा पृष्ठतो लुठित्वा भुजद्वयम् उत्थापयेत्.
And next is Trikona Hasana Uttaranga. So you can come to laying down position and you can roll onto your back, throwing both your legs behind as you bring your knees towards the sides of towards the ears of the respective side. As you bring your hands from between your shins and hold on to the ankle, pushing it towards the ground, doing the Shambhavi Mudra Ujjayi Kumbhaka. And when you do this asana, naturally you're going to be tucking your chin in towards the chest into the Jalandhara Bandha. So lock your throat, doing the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a radiant triangle drawn taut with elegant tension, full of potential and gracefulness in Trikonasana Uttaranga.
पाणिद्वयं गुल्फयुग्मे निवेश्य पादाङ्गुष्ठौ दृढं गृहीत्वा स्कन्धौ भूमौ निहत्य पादौ व्योम्नि समुत्क्षिप्य रेचकं कुर्यात्.
And now entering into the last asana for today, which is the Smashanavasana. Completely laying flat onto your back with your legs extended and feet relaxed. Rest your arms slightly away from your body with your palms facing up. Let your shoulder relax, your entire body soften as you do the Shakti Charana Mudra. Awaken the base energy with steady intent, drawing the prana upward towards the spine. As you relax, into Smashanavasana. You can now start moving your body and coming to a seated position. Congratulations to each and every one of you who has participated throughout the sequence and followed along all the 100 asanas of today, where we did the Panchama Vinyasa Krama part 1. Hope you all enjoyed by staying tuned with us. With this, we're going to be coming to the conclusion of today's yoga session. Keep your hands together in the Atmanjali Mudra in front of your heart center. Close your eyes. Invoke the presence of Swamiji as we now come to the conclusion with the Purna Mantra.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं भगवत् श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवपादुकार्पणमस्तु ॐ नित्यानन्दम्.
We invite each one of you to now, you can now please turn towards the Atmamurti and bend forward, bringing your forehead lowering in front of Swamiji as you offer your gratitude. And we invite each one of you to join for everyday live Nithyananda Yoga session, which happens on YouTube as we do the sequence from the Sakala Vinyasa Krama, doing 1000 asanas in a sequence every day. And we are also inviting you to join for the daily satsang that happens, as well as to join the Paramashiva Sena program, which happens at the start of every month. Starting from the first of every month, you can join for the Paramashiva Sena program. And one important thing is that in the Paramashiva Sena program, we learn the yoga session not only for doing it on the ground, but also on the rope and on the pole. So you can also explore more dimensions of the yoga when you come and join the Paramashiva Sena program. So invite all of you to come and join for the Paramashiva Sena program that is going to happen in September. With this, thank you, Nithyanandam.